My ex takes 600 as monthly despite 50-50 custody. The shocking truth about child support that no one talks about. Hey, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Before I get into today's video, I want to say this isn't something I ever imagined I'd be sharing online. But after what I've been through, what I'm still going through, I realized that staying silent only helps perpetuate a broken system. So today, I'm pulling back the curtain on something millions of parents experience, but few talk about openly. The shocking reality of child support in equal custody arrangements. How it all started. 2 years ago, my life looked completely different. I was married to Karen, my college sweetheart, and we had 2 beautiful children together, Max, who's now 8, and Lily, who's 6. We had what I thought was a good life in the suburbs, a comfortable home, family vacations once a year, and the standard middle-class existence. Then came that conversation that changed everything. "I'm not happy anymore, Jason. I think we should separate." Those words hit me like a physical blow. I won't get into all the details. That's not what this video is about. But after 15 years together, our marriage was over within months. From the beginning, one thing was crystal clear to both of us. Our kids needed both parents equally in their lives. Despite the pain of our separation, we agreed on 50-50 physical custody. 1 week with me, 1 week with Karen. Equal time, equal responsibility, equal parenting. That part actually went smoothly, and I was grateful that despite our differences, we could agree on what was best for Max and Lily. But then came the financial discussions. The day everything changed. We sat in the mediator's office, a neutral third party helping us hash out the details of our separation agreement. Custody schedule? Done. Division of assets? Uncomfortable, but manageable. Then came child support. Based on your incomes and the state calculator, Jason would pay Karen $600 per month in child support, the mediator said, sliding a paper across the table. I stared at the number in disbelief. Wait, I don't understand. We have the kids exactly the same amount of time. Why would I pay anything? The mediator gave me what I now recognize as the standard explanation. Child support is based primarily on income differential, not custody time. You make $72,000 a year as an IT specialist, and Karen makes $54,000 as a teacher. The formula is designed to equalize the standard of living between households. It sounded reasonable when put that way. I wanted my kids to have stability and consistency between homes. I didn't want them to have the rich dad, poor mom experience, so I agreed. What I didn't realize then, what no one warned me about, was how this seemingly fair arrangement would spiral into a financial and emotional nightmare. The math that doesn't add up. Let me break down what $600 a month actually means. In the context of our situation, Karen and I have the kids on an alternating week schedule, 26 weeks per year each, exactly 50-50. After taxes, my monthly take-home pay is about $4,300. Karen's monthly take-home is approximately $3,500, after paying the $600 in child support. My effective monthly income, $3,700. Karen's effective monthly income, $4,100. Already, you can see the income has not just been equalized, it's been flipped. But it gets worse. During my 26 weeks with the kids, I pay for all their meals, their entertainment, transportation costs, daily incidentals, half of clothing, medical, and school expenses. That child support payment doesn't follow the children to help with these expenses during my time. It's a direct transfer of my income to Karen's household, regardless of where the children are or what they need. Moreover, Our decree states we both contribute equally to extra expenses, like sports, medical copays, and school activities. So on top of the $600 monthly payment, I'm still paying half of all those additional costs. The harsh truth? I'm effectively paying to support my children 100% of the time while only having them 50% of the time. The hidden costs no one warns you about. But the financial impact goes far beyond the monthly payment itself. Here are the shocking hidden costs of this arrangement that no one talks about. Chapter 1. The second household penalty. After separation, I needed to establish a whole new household with everything kids need. New bedroom furniture. Duplicate toys and books. Duplicate clothing basics so we're not constantly packing bags. A second set of sports equipment. New supplies from scratch. These startup costs ran into thousands of dollars. Did the child support calculation account for this? Not at all. The formulas assume these costs don't exist. Two toes. The tax disadvantage. Child support is not tax-deductible for the payer, nor is it taxable income for the recipient. Sounds neutral, right? It's not, because Karen has the children as dependents on her tax return, another negotiation I lost. She gets child tax credits, head of household filing status, various other tax benefits. The estimated value of these tax advantages, about $4,000 per year. That's on top of the $7,200 in direct payments I make. 3. The lifestyle discrepancy. 6 months after our separation, Karen took the kids to Disney World. 3 months after that, she bought a newer, larger SUV. Meanwhile, I'm calculating whether I can afford to take the kids camping for a weekend. This isn't about jealousy. It's about a system that creates a fundamentally unfair dynamic. One parent struggles financially despite working hard. The other parent enjoys an artificially inflated lifestyle. The children witness this discrepancy and naturally draw conclusions. The most painful moment? When Max asked me, "Dad, why can't we do fun stuff at your house like we do at Mom's?" How do you explain income redistribution to an 8-year-old? The attempted conversation. After about a year of this arrangement, I decided to approach Karen about adjusting our agreement. My company had implemented some budget cuts, reducing overtime opportunities that I had depended on. I wasn't asking to eliminate support, just reduce it to reflect our truly equal parenting arrangement. I rehearsed the conversation carefully, planning to focus on the children's needs and our shared responsibility. I even prepared a spreadsheet showing all expenses to make the discussion fact-based rather than emotional. We met at a neutral coffee shop. I explained my situation calmly and presented my case for reducing the payment to $300, still a significant contribution despite our equal custody. Her response stunned me. "If you can't handle your financial responsibilities, maybe you should reconsider whether you can handle equal custody," she said coldly. "I can have my lawyer file for primary custody if that would be easier for you." It was a thinly veiled threat. Keep paying or risk losing equal time with my children. "And by the way," she added as she stood to leave, "if you force me to go back to court over this, I'll ask for more, not less. The calculator actually says you should be paying $700. I sat there long after she left, my coffee going cold, the realization sinking in that I was trapped in a system designed to extract payment regardless of fairness or circumstances. The emotional cost that no one discusses. The financial burden is crushing, but the psychological impact? That's what truly keeps me up at night. Living paycheck to paycheck creates constant anxiety. I've developed stress-related health issues, high blood pressure, insomnia, tension, headaches. My doctor recently suggested medication for anxiety. When I have the kids, there's the pressure to create positive experiences despite limited resources. I've mastered the art of free activities, but children naturally want to do things that cost money. The guilt when I have to say no is overwhelming. Then there's the perception issue. Society has a term ready for fathers who struggle with child support: deadbeat dads. It doesn't matter that I've never missed a payment. It doesn't matter that I have my children exactly as much as their mother. The moment I express any concern about the financial arrangement, that label hovers threateningly. I've even lost friends over this. People who don't understand the details hear, "He's complaining about child support," and make assumptions about my character and priorities. The isolation is real. The shame is real. The fear is real. The system, no one questions. Here's the shocking truth about child support that we need to talk about. The entire system is built on outdated assumptions that no longer reflect how modern families function after separation. Most state guidelines were developed decades ago when the typical post-divorce arrangement was: mother has primary custody 80 to 100% of the time. Father has every other weekend visitation 20% or less. Mother's income was significantly lower or non-existent. In that context, substantial child support from father to mother made sense. The mother needed financial resources to support children who were predominantly in her care. But today, nearly 40% of custody arrangements involve equal or near-equal parenting time. Women's workforce participation and earnings have dramatically increased. Yet, the formulas remain largely unchanged, creating these bizarre situations where substantial money flows from one equal parent to another. Even more shocking, in many states, including mine, the cost of raising the children isn't even calculated. The formulas don't ask, what do these specific children actually need financially? What are the actual expenses involved? How are these expenses already being covered by both parents during their parenting time? Instead, they simply take a percentage of the higher earner's income and transfer it to the lower earner, regardless of necessity or actual costs. The myths versus reality. Let me address some common myths about child support in equal custody situations. Myth 1. The money is for the children. Reality: there's zero accountability for how support money is spent. None. The receiving parent isn't required to document or justify any expenses. The money becomes their personal income, to be spent however they choose. Myth 2. It ensures the children have the same lifestyle in both homes. Reality: it often creates a significant lifestyle disparity between homes, with the paying parent struggling financially, while the receiving parent enjoys artificial prosperity. Myth 3. The courts are just doing what's best for the children. Reality: courts apply mathematical formulas without consideration for the unique circumstances of each family. These formulas prioritize simplicity of calculation over actual fairness or children's best interests. Myth 4. You can always modify support if circumstances change. Reality: modifications are expensive, time-consuming, and often unsuccessful unless there's a dramatic change in circumstances. Many parents spend thousands on legal fees only to have minimal adjustments made. Myth 5. Equal custody means reduced support. Reality: in many states, custody time has minimal impact on support calculations. A parent with 50% custody often pays nearly as much as one with 20% custody. What you need to know before it happens to you. If you're heading toward separation or divorce and have children, here's what I wish someone had told me. 1. Understand the formula in your state. Child support calculations vary widely by state. Research your state's specific guidelines before agreeing to anything. In some states, equal custody significantly reduces support. In others, it barely matters. 2. Get everything in writing. Verbal agreements mean nothing in family court. Even agreements that seem clear can be interpreted differently later. Specific, detailed written agreements are essential. 3. Run the numbers yourself. Don't rely solely on your attorney, mediator, or the other parent to calculate support. Get access to the same calculator the courts use and verify every number yourself. 4. Consider the complete financial picture. Child support is just one piece of the post-separation financial puzzle. Tax benefits, healthcare costs, extracurricular activities, all these factors should be negotiated together, not separately. 5. Build in review periods. Include in your agreement regular times to review and potentially adjust support based on changing circumstances without having to go back to court. 6. Document everything. Keep meticulous records of all time spent with your children, all expenses paid directly for the children, all support payments made, all communication about financial matters. 7. Understand modification requirements. Know exactly what constitutes a change in circumstances sufficient for modification in your state before you need to pursue one. The alternatives that work better. The current system is broken, but there are better models available. Some families have found success with the true expense sharing model. Parents calculate actual child-related expenses and divide them proportionally based on income, with each parent covering daily expenses during their own parenting time. The children's expense account. Both parents contribute proportionally to a joint account used exclusively for children's expenses, with transparent tracking of all expenditures. The offset approach. Each parent calculates what they would pay in a sole custody situation, and only the difference is transferred from the higher to lower calculation. If you're negotiating your own arrangement, consider proposing one of these alternatives that better reflect the reality of shared parenting. Finding a way forward. So where am I now in this journey? Still paying $600 monthly despite equal custody. Still struggling to make ends meet. Still loving my children and trying to provide the best life possible for them during my time. I've made some adjustments that have helped. 1. I've simplified my lifestyle dramatically. I moved to a smaller apartment, drive an older car, and cut all non-essential expenses. 2. I've developed multiple income streams. Beyond my day job, I do freelance IT work and some online tutoring when the kids are with their mother. 3. I've found low-cost quality activities, museums with free admission days, hiking, community events, and library programs have become our go-to activities. 4. I've connected with support groups. Finding other parents in similar situations has been invaluable for both practical advice and hearted emotional support. 5. I'm documenting everything for an eventual modification attempt. When circumstances allow, I'll try again to adjust this unfair arrangement. The system may be broken, but I refuse to let it break me or my relationship with my children. The conversation we need to have. As a society, we need an honest conversation about child support in equal parenting arrangements. The current system creates unnecessary financial hardship for one parent, incentivizes conflict over cooperation, discourages equal parenting arrangements, fails to recognize the actual costs of raising children, doesn't serve children's best interests. What we need instead is a system that recognizes and supports equal parenting, calculates support based on actual children's needs, ensures both parents can maintain stable, appropriate homes, promotes financial transparency and accountability, adapts to the realities of modern families. This isn't about avoiding responsibility. Every parent should support their children financially, but the support should be fair, transparent, and actually benefit the children, not create artificial winners and losers in a system that should be focused solely on children's well-being. To my children, Max and Lily, if you ever see this video when you're older, I want you to know something important. The financial challenges I've faced have nothing to do with my commitment to you. Every payment, every sacrifice, every extra hour worked was worth it to be your dad. I've never regretted our time together, and I've never viewed the financial cost as a burden compared to the privilege of being your father. When I've had to say no to things that cost money, it wasn't because I didn't want to give you the world. It was because I was already giving everything I could to maintain our time together. The happiest moments of my life are still the simple ones we share. Making pancakes on Saturday mornings, our bike rides to the park, bedtime stories, and movie nights on the couch. Those moments don't cost much, but they're priceless to me. What I've learned through this journey. If there's anything positive to take from this experience, it's the profound lessons I've learned. 1. Material things are far less important than I once thought. Watching my children find joy in simple activities has reset my own priorities. 2. Resilience comes from adversity. This struggle has made me stronger, more resourceful, and more appreciative of what truly matters. 3. A parent's value isn't measured in dollars. My children need my presence, attention, guidance, and love far more than anything money can buy. 4. Systems change when enough people speak out. By sharing my story, I hope to contribute to a growing awareness that will eventually lead to reform. Bitterness is a choice. Despite the unfairness of the situation, staying positive for my children's sake has kept me from being consumed by resentment. For those going through something similar, if you're watching this and facing a similar situation, please know. 1. You're not alone. Millions of parents, both fathers and mothers, are caught in this same trap. 2. Your worth as a parent isn't defined by financial provision. You are so much more than a paycheck to your children. 3. Protect your mental health. The financial strain is real, but don't let it destroy you emotionally. 4. Keep showing up for your kids. Despite the challenges, your presence in their lives is irreplaceable. 5. Advocate for change. Share your story, contact your legislators, and support organizations working for family court reform. Where we go from here. It's been 2 years since that day in the mediator's office when I agreed to a financial arrangement I didn't fully understand. Max is now 8, Lily is 6, and despite everything, they're thriving. Children are remarkably resilient. My relationship with Karen remains strained, primarily because of the financial imbalance between us. It's hard to co-parent effectively when one person holds financial power over the other. I'm saving for another attempt at modification next year. It will cost thousands in legal fees, with no guarantee of success. But I have to try. Even a reduction to $300 monthly would dramatically improve my ability to provide for the kids during my time. In the meantime, I continue to make every payment on time. I continue to work extra hours when the kids are with their mother. I continue to search for creative ways to give them a fulfilling childhood despite limited resources. And most importantly, I continue to show up, physically, emotionally, and financially, for the 2 people who matter most in my world. The truth that needs to be heard. If there's one message I want you to take from this video, it's this. The child support system as it exists today often hurts the very children it claims to help by, financially destabilizing one of their homes, creating conflict between their parents, discouraging true co-parenting arrangements, incentivizing custody battles for financial gain, treating one parent as a visitor rather than an equal. This isn't about men versus women. Increasingly, mothers are finding themselves paying support to fathers despite equal parenting time. It's about a fundamental failure to recognize how modern families function after separation. What children need most are two stable, loving homes with parents who can cooperate. The current system often makes that impossible by creating financial winners and losers instead of co-parenting partners. A call to action. If this video resonates with you, please share it. The first step toward change is awareness, and too many people enter the family court system without understanding what they're facing. Contact your state legislators about updating child support guidelines to reflect the realities of equal parenting. Support organizations working for family court reform. And if you're a parent facing separation, get informed early about how these systems work before making agreements that will affect you for years to come. Thank you for listening to my story. If it helps even one parent navigate this system more successfully, or one legislator recognize the need for reform, sharing these painful details will have been worth it. Remember, you're not just a payer or recipient of support. You're a parent, and that role is infinitely more important than any financial arrangement. Disclaimer. This video represents my personal experience with the child support system in my state. Laws vary by location. Always consult with a qualified family law attorney about your specific situation.